All right. Well, welcome to Soup Radio. My name is Greg Buckley, and thanks for joining in here. It is approximately 1 o'clock, and we will be streaming live with live interview for Mr. Jeff Rudnick, CEO of PitCrewLoyalty. Jeff and his team at PitCrew has just come out with a really, really slick integration with TekMetric. And if you're a TekMetric user, you'll want to listen in, and Jeff will be on with us very shortly, within about 5 minutes or so, and get him to call in. And we're going to start to learn a little bit more about Jeff, how he's gotten involved with Pit Crew, a little bit of history with Jeff. And if you don't know Jeff, he's a great guy. Has the luxury of living in Hawaii, amongst other places. But the program with Pit Crew is one of a labor of love that he's had for quite some time. So I'm going to see if he can come in just a little bit early. And Jeff, if you're listening, come on in. I'll give you a quick text and let you know that get your butt in here. Guys, I appreciate you listening in. This is all from Soup Radio. My little experiment and little project that I've been trying to grow here a little bit. And so far, so good. We've got some hiccups. If you experience any dropouts, bear with me, because, again, the platform is entirely new, and we've tried our best to make things, all the configurations necessary to get sound and everything out to you. So we want to be able to make sure that you're going to hear us correctly. We're going to be prompt, that we're going to do everything that a true radio station will do. And it takes time. So anyway, bear with us as we try to get through this little adventure. Hopefully we'll turn this into a podcast as well, and all of these shows will be archived. If we're at 1 o'clock now, this show will be repeated on Soup Radio at approximately 8 p.m. Eastern tonight, and we'll put that in rotation. So again, I want to thank you for joining us here this afternoon. It's a Thursday afternoon here in Delaware. It's a really nice day. So let's see if we can get Jeff on the line. I know a lot of you are in Vegas, wrapping up the Apex show, and then comes SEMA. So you'll be out there for quite some time, and hope you're enjoying it. It looks like some of the social media posts I see are really making me jealous, and wish I could have attended maybe next year. I always say next year, because you never know. I mean, I have every intention of being there, but for some reason, the month of November is usually consumed with a lot of end of year stuff. And of course, we get ready for our Thanksgiving and the holiday period. So anyway, we'll see what we can do about next year, but it looks like a blast. It really does. And, I got to make Vegas at some point. I said it's been about 30 years since I've been out there. It's been so long that it was called Cars back then through the ASA, and the buildings were separated like way back. I had to walk down to the old original Hard Rock, I believe. And that's where the Cars event was going. And in fact, it wasn't even at the Hard Rock. It was across the street from the Hard Rock at this really, it wasn't a roadside hotel, but it certainly wasn't the Mirage. Let's put it that way. And I remember back in the day, but it was a lot of fun. It's how things started. You got to start at the bottom and work your way up top. And now look at it. Your SEMA Apex is huge. And there's a great amount of training out there. There's all kinds of vendors to talk to. There's friends, activities, shows. It's what Vegas is all about. So if you're out there and having a great time, good for you. Bring back some stories, will you? The ones that you shouldn't tell, and the ones that you don't have a problem with, So there's the R-rated and the PC rated. So you can share it all. All right. Well, look, we're going to try and get hold of Mr. Rudnick and see if he can give us a call in. Let's see here. I'm going to text him real quick. Let's see what happens here. So if you are on board, if you're listening to us, hopefully the stream is coming in nice and clear. You're welcome to give us a text at 302-364-5776 for any questions. Hopefully you can, we'll be able to see those. Let's see here. I'll tell him. Let's see. Texting me here. Well, again, this is what it takes when you're all just, getting things in order and learning the ropes. So again, you start small and you learn on your way up. Expect anything, but hopefully you'll listen in and you'll get a lot of good information off of this. And that's what, all right. So here's Mr. Rudnick. Jeff?
Hello, Greg.
Hey, buddy, how you doing, man?
Great. How are you?
Wonderful. Good, good, good. Thanks for coming on board here on Soup Radio, and we're gonna have a good discussion about the wonderful information news coming out of PitCrewLoyalty and how it's really integrating quite well with TekMetric. So, but first off, where are you at today, man? I mean, you tell me all the time. While I'm here, I'm in Buffalo, I'm in Arizona, I'm in Hawaii, I'm in Washington, I'm hiking, I'm golfing. I mean, and shit, what kind of lifestyle are you running there, buddy?
Well, no moss throws on me, that's for sure. But I think if you were to talk to anyone on entrepreneurs in our industry,
Yeah.
we're all over the place. And I just happen to choose when I have the downtime where I'm in between traveling that I prefer to stay in Hilo, Hawaii. Right now I'm in Arizona.
Okay.
And, just to give a peek under the hood, I'm fortunate that I have a group of friends that I grew up with back in Buffalo, New York that have all, moved around, and we've all kept in touch. And these friends of mine bought this place, Great Recession, like in 2008, 2007. Turned it into like a residential resort. It's beautiful.
Really? Okay. Cool.
So we've been coming here every Thanksgiving, but during COVID, a group of us that worked remotely decided to stay here for a month, and so now I work here and travel out of Scottsdale for November and part of December.
Man, like a snowbird.
And then I'm in Denver.
No, to Denver. Jeez, man.
Family.
Yeah. No, it's amazing, I mean, you do hit the high places. That's what's really cool. You hit the high place. Now, well, let's put it this way. I'll reserve that comment because I might have to exclude Buffalo. I don't know, but I bet it is. To be up there. That's is. I'm getting comments. And again, folks, we're learning our ropes here. So pardon us if the sound isn't correct. We're trying to make adjustments. And Jeff actually has agreed to come on, and this is actually the very first time we are going live and having a discussion. I am recording it, for posterity reasons. I don't have any cake or, applause buttons and stuff like that, but this is the very first one. And please, as I said before, prior to Jeff coming on, expect some dropouts, expect some issues. It's just going to happen. So, anyway, getting on with you, Jeff, your history in the automotive aftermarket. I mean, you go way back. I mean, I don't want people to think that you're just somebody new jumping in. You've been around for some time. What kind of history do you have? Like, where, I know you've been to a couple of firms, or you've had different firms that you've started. So,
yeah, I'll just give you the history. So I graduated college in '92 and decided I wanted to join my brother out in Seattle, where he had graduated from the University of Washington. And so I moved out there. My girlfriend, who became my wife, and we started life out there. And the first job I ever took was as a photocopier salesman for Minolta. And that's tough training, but it was really lucrative and it was cool. But doing that in the Northwest with all the rain, I flashback to those moments, walking with an umbrella and a suit, because those were the suit days still. I enjoyed it. I was looking for another opportunity. I sold a photocopier to a company called Team Marketing. And they're manufacturers reps in the automotive industry.
Sure.
It was just one of those fortuitous moments. They were the largest rep group on the West Coast. And for those that don't know, most probably do, in the automotive industry and many other industries, manufacturers will hire agents or sales reps from an organization in a territory and give them responsibility for taking care of that territory. And we repped lines like, we did Fram, Prestone, Autolite, Simple Green, First Alert, smoke detectors. We did automotive and hardware, Amco carburetors going back, Denso. I could list hundreds,
Wow.
we sold, our biggest clients is actually Costco.
Really?
In the retail side. So
Okay.
we would sell Costco chemicals and floor mats and Simple Green and First Alert and Wagner power sprayers. I was originally calling on the grocery side, in the grocery world, they would usually have a 4-foot set of automotive stuff. And they buy that from a distributor. And I got a few promotions calling on the distributors, and eventually, got promoted to our biggest client in the automotive world, which was PACCAR, the Kenworth Peterbilt truck people.
Yeah.
And they owned a team of retail stores called Al's Auto Supply. And that was where I really, then I was working with, all the senior people at the big manufacturers of parts and accessories in the automotive world, helping grow that thing from, I think when I started, they had 7 stores and we ended up somewhere around 200, I believe, around 200.
Okay.
Made me look really good, right? Because the comp, my sales are going up. I looked like a genius. But they were, but what I recognized, we were mean. They would call us like the Fuzzy Dice rep group, because we had like metal air fresheners and all the accessories, the trinkets and trash and all that. And I'm like, well, there was a lot more money selling parts.
Right.
So I would head down to Vegas, which is this week. Been doing that since I was there this week as well. Been doing that since '93. And I started building relationships with the parts manufacturers, usually the secondary type parts manufacturers, some off-name brake companies and axle companies. And was fortunate enough to get some of those lines and put those in at Al's Auto Supply. And you can imagine there's a big difference in revenue when you're talking about brakes or axles compared to Fuzzy Dice and air fresheners.
Yeah, I bet.
That's also where I got to know automotive repair shops.
Okay.
Because we were selling these lines not just to retail but to the distributors.
Right.
And when you're selling these parts and these two and complex, these are like carburetions, for instance. Back in the day, dating myself, we had to put on clinics and bring in experts to teach the installers how to do things properly. And so I got to know all the shop owners, in my area.
Right.
And as we would be kind of just talking before and after, and we were just at the dawn of the digital age, we were just, people were like, gosh, I think, you ever hear of the internet? We're going to have to build a website. Really what was happening at that time is shop owners were so excited that they could get out of the phone book. And I think people listening, if they were in business back then, you'll remember, like, wow, we can cut the phone book expense and just, we're on Google. Little did we all know how much money we were all going to be spending to show up properly and fine.
Ain't that the truth?
So these guys wanted me to, as we talked about the internet stuff, I decided I'm going to learn about websites and I'm going to learn about brand. And you remember shops back in that day, the branding on a shop back then was like the sign company would come in and you'd flip through a book and say, what logo do you want? Do you want a picture of brakes or a race car or transmission?
Yeah, that's the truth. Right. I mean, you were branding them pretty much because they were giving you the sign, and you put their brand up along next year's. And in fact, I mean, I still do that with Napa. It's a co-branding situation. You find a strong branding partner, you go with it. I mean, I think that is weaning itself out as the internet becomes. When you get into marketing, you want your brand to shine first, and everybody else can follow with you. There's different theories on that, but go ahead.
So I built that original company as a side business where I was doing brand development and for automotive shops, getting them ready for the internet. And that was, that before Kukui, all those guys, and back then we were charging 15 to 25 grand for a brand package and a website.
Right.
And that was early days. And we discovered also at that time, I picked up a line because I called Customer Link,
Right.
which was the first CRM you probably used.
I think, yeah, back in the day, yes. And I think that's how I got to know you, is through Customer Link. I didn't really, we weren't as close as what we are today, and, calling each other. But back then you were a name that was out there, and Customer Link was really the hot lick at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I didn't found that company. They called me up and said, you seems like you know all the automotive shops in the Northwest, and we'd like you to be our agent. So I started the Rudnick group, and Customer Link was my only vendor that I represented, and I was doing my other regular job as well. And that was interesting. Customer Link took off. I went out and started peddling postcards, and they were. It was really a fun gig because there was no CRM then. There was none of that existed. So from the moment you extracted data from accurately predicted when someone needed to come in for an oil change or send out deferred work, you moved the needle so quickly, and it was so evident the benefit of reminding your customers without the shop having to do the postcards and a ticket file. It was instant ROI. And so we grew super fast. And like a lot of things. So I was with Customer Link from November of 2002 straight through to the closing of their sale to Intuit.
Yeah.
And what I noticed was Customer Link, I got a real education at the shop. So we were doing like stock photography and, cartoons and stuff. And that's really when I started branding the shops and taking pictures of the shops. And when we sent out reminders, making sure that people knew who it was from. And that led to what we now have today, which I always experiment in with what moves the needle at the shops. And what became so clear, the initial thing was I got a postcard from a local restaurant in Seattle called Palisades. It's on the water. It was a $20 gift card. So we're talking 2002 roughly. And I took my wife there. When I went to pay, I just put that in there with my credit card, and they took the money off. It wasn't like the old entertainment book, where you had to buy one, get one free.
Right.
Over which one was the lesser value, all that stuff.
That's true.
It was just $20. When I left, I'm like, that worked. Like I never used coupons, and it's not because I was rich or am rich. I grew up so poor that I was always embarrassed to, for some stupid reason, that everything we did had a coupon or a negotiation to it. Like, how could we get it for free?
Okay.
And but I used that thing, and so the light bulb went off, and I found out who did that mail. Convinced them to let me do it in the automotive world, and they also had a little stored value program that they let me white label.
Really?
So,
okay.
Yes. So it looked like the Rudnick group at the time, and shops would have to go in and type in the customer information all over again. You can imagine how advisors love that.
And
it was just simple. Then for every $100, you get 5 points, something like that. It failed miserably. No one cared about it. The advisors, talk about staring daggers. If I walked through the doors, they're like, "You made our owner double our workload." They didn't like that. But we kept iterating and kept trying on the stored value from. And in the automotive industry, rewards programs did not work. Essentially because you needed to do an analysis about the consumer behavior. It's not Starbucks. It was really easy. And I did this for a time as an experiment. I ran a couple of coffee houses in the Seattle area, their marketing. And it's really simple to give someone a free cup of coffee after 10 or something when people are in there every day. It's not simple at the automotive level, but you have to ask yourself, what are you trying to achieve? You're trying to achieve loyalty. You're trying to achieve the customer being in a relationship with you, not in a transaction with you. And so you had to look at the benefits. So I was fortunate enough to get AAA to take a chance on me and let me run a really white glove roadside assistance program. That's all trackable, and you can give it to your best customers automatically. So I did all that. That moved the needle a little bit more. But it wasn't until I built the automations where you can track everything's automated, the activation of the program, the redemptions happen inside, the point of sale systems, all of that. But it still didn't what needed to happen is the consumers needed to see really high value without costing the shop a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
So, we added the benefits that you know and love today, right? We've got the roadside assistance, the referral program, the dollars. You can transfer dollars to friends, donate to charities. There's a whole bunch of reasons why all these things work. Local business cross-pollinators, connecting people more deeply, embedding the shop more deeply in the community. And then having to do it all for the shop so that they don't have to sit there and manage this thing. And that's where we are today. There's always room for improvement.
Well, it's pretty comprehensive. I mean, from my side and, working with you and seeing what you're doing and working with your team, one, they take feedback wonderfully and they're pretty on point with getting, the right tweak to it. I have really ran this program with a few charities and really have blown away I've been blown away by what my clients, have been able to give back to these certain charities, like our food bank at our parish. It was close to like $200 or $300. And then we had it was the Sam's Kids. I think that was close to $500 and some dollars, in giving back. Which was wonderful, which you just don't think of it that way. But this program allows your clients, to break it down simply, your clients that are in your database, they have the ability to transfer their reward points that you've converted to dollars, and that cash goes to the charity.
Well, actually, let's just step back real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
There's no conversion to dollars. We store dollars.
Yeah.
They're funny money, right? It's the customer spends this, they earn this.
Yeah, true.
And they can use it either at the shop, or they can use it, or they can transfer it to a friend if you allow them, or they can transfer it to a charity.
Right.
But I think what's important is why.
Well, of course, the why is there. But I look at how I get with the program, right? And for those listening, I do work with Jeff, and I share my ideas on what's going on with or how it works. I'll tell you what, I'm not the best. I let's put it this way. I want to be fair about this and be clear, because I'm still a student of what Jeff is making, and I'm involved with it, and I work it. We work it at the shop. It's just gotten a hell of a lot easier, but I got to give credit where credit is due. It's the one I'm most familiar with is John Bachman of Bachman's Automotive in Illinois, and John does a hell of a job with it. The goal for me is to take these, what you called stored value, and really convert that to a cash donation to the nonprofit or the organization.
Community currency.
Well, that's exactly what it is, and that's that's the right way to think of it. Because I think the point of why I wanted to talk to you and share your information and what you do, it isn't just for a loyalty program where you get points and you earn points and you convert those points to services. This is, as I've said many times, it is like a currency, meaning that you control the value and you control the distribution. And the client agrees that, they're expecting a certain, you set that reward up or whatever the case might be, and then you take it from there. It's really comprehensive, but I just have to explain myself on that, because I want people to really understand how deep your program goes and explain.
At the first meeting,
I did. I knew
you talked about it in terms of that. The hippie thing going on up in Ithaca.
It's true. It's exactly what decades ago, man. And honestly, you you and your team are the first really to put that in play. And when you explained it to me, I said, "This is like a match in heaven right now." I mean, and I really see the value, but I think the important thing is that the why behind this program coming from you is what's most important and gives credit to the whole PitCrewLoyalty Loyalty program. So explain your community endeavors.
So, our just cause, as we call it, or our why, is to embed automotive repair shops so deeply in the community that customers flock to them without even knowing why. And it's because you're a conversation at the dinner table. You're a conversation, not just from your marketing. You're a conversation because charities are talking about you. You're a conversation because local businesses are talking about you because of our local business cross-pollinator. And these tools, again, this isn't trying to sell this program. It's understanding the point of a loyalty rewards program and consumer psychology. So consumers want to transact with merchants that are in alignment with their values. And it doesn't mean in alignment with their political views or their religious affiliation. And they don't even think of it this way, the consumer, but it's there. If the consumer hears about the shop being having a good heart and a good soul, they will choose that shop over another if they're looking 90% of the time. That's according to the data from the Cone report. And the other way to do this is to partner with local businesses. And again, we streamlined it so businesses just sign right up on the website.
Right.
So I'm not going into all those details because we had to automate all this, and it's flipping amazing how automated we made this. Right. It's almost like a marketing plan in a bottle. And you have to remember, why do companies do loyalty programs? Well, and this is the piece I think that, and I haven't educated enough and eloquent enough to get people to understand. Big organizations do these programs because it drives marketing efficiency. You are trying as a marketer, you're trying to get a message out quickly and easily in a manner that is comprehensible to the consumer, high perceived value, and easily actionable. That's what we're looking for. But every marketing idea has like 10 or 15 or 20 little to-do things under it that a shop owner just doesn't have the time to accomplish. It's not about conceiving these ideas. Everyone's smart enough to think, yeah, this works. And you look at what's going on in our industry, and I believe that we've had a hand in people really taking a look at how they dive into community. And shops are doing all kinds of cool things. They're hosting food truck days. They're doing backpack stuff, for children back to school. There's all kinds of ways to do this. And all of those things are important. But it's really important to also not have everything be such a big project. So with the loyalty rewards program, it's just the results really do speak for themselves. The consumers love it. Right? The consumer that has the loyalty rewards program, let's put it this way: the one and done rate on consumers that have the rewards program it's cut in half. So if you do a mailer, let's say you do an Upswell or a MailShark mailer, and you send it out to 1,000 people, and let's say you get, whatever you get, let's just say you get 100 of them back, which would be a nice result probably. Those 100 people that come in, if they're made aware of the loyalty rewards program and it's they get the balance and everything put on their card automatically, the advisor does nothing. Those customers that are involved with the program, the one and done rate will go from, because the one and done rate on these carpet bound mailers is actually around 75%. They come in and they never come back.
Yeah.
That one and done rate goes down to 35 or 40%.
Correct. Yeah.
They have the loyalty rewards program. And you experience this with your mailers.
Hey, before we go further, I'd like to remind the listeners here, if you have a question, you can text us at 302-364-5776. We can take a text. I can ask Jeff a question. I don't have the one of those things. We're hoping to get a true hotline here pretty quickly. But anyway, text works fine. And Jeff, let them know how can they get a hold of you directly to sign up for this program.
Yeah, you can go to PitCrewLoyalty.com.
Okay.
And you can take a look at us, and then you can also request a meeting.
It's PitCrewLoyalty.com. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you can also, email me at jeffr@pitcrewmarketing.com. Sorry for the confusion there. We changed our name a couple times. just to really, and that's worth explaining too. I think this is, and they can also just text me at 206-271-0060 or call that number.
Okay, I'll put a link into the post since we are, I've got something up here on Facebook right now, and I'll do that a little bit later as well. But yeah, I mean now in terms of how you integrate with the shop management systems, we're here specifically we're talking about TekMetric. If you're a TekMetric user, Jeff and his team have just completely simplified this whole process. And Jeff, explain how you came about that one and what it really does to, I mean, you've made the easy button with TekMetric.
Yeah. So, technology has allowed us to do that. So TekMetric, to begin, wonderful company, fantastic API. They are doing as much or more than anyone to make it easy for shop owners. It's about shop owners.
Right.
It's easy to get trapped in like what's in it for me, or they're making it easy for shops to partner with the people they want to partner with, because shop owners should have the freedom. It's their data to try things that they want to try. So kudos to TekMetric. They have a wonderful integrations page, and I get called all the time. I saw you listed, and so most shops when they sign up with TekMetric, they go and look at that page and they start, I'll talk to that person, talk to that person. So that's really been helpful. And then, with Chrome extensions, we've been able to create, and let's just say one thing, I would love it if I were so important and could be fortunate enough to have TekMetric and everybody else build us directly into their system. But with this Chrome extension, it blew my mind. Like it's like a heads-up display on your windshield or something. We're in there because we get the data and everything. But now it looks, when you're in a job board, whether it's pile view or list view, or you've just started writing an estimate for a current client, you're going to see the rewards balance in orange right there at the top of the page. You're going to see it again on the job board, the tile view or the list view.
Yeah.
There are options there. You can click and just drop it right onto the work order, and it automatically redeems right out of the system. So our usage rate, let's say we'll use you, Greg, for instance. You were redeeming somewhere around 50% of the eligible consumers that came through the door.
Yeah.
And you've shot up to 80%.
Right.
And why is that important? Well, if you asked every customer if they wanted to redeem, 85% to 87% will redeem every single time. We just have enough data to know that.
Yeah.
But now it's right in front of the advisor.
Oh, no.
And when they do that first redemption, particularly at the second visit, that customer goes on to spend 40% more money over the next 5 years versus customers that never redeem.
Perfect. Yeah. It really does. I recognize that right away. And actually I told my team, and for me, my son is my tech guru. I'm very, 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 very fortunate to have someone who can operate the entire tech side of the shops. So it makes it easy. But once, and I didn't tell you this, but once he had it dialed in, to where the points are on the screen and he sees it, he gave you a huge compliment. He goes, wow, this is now so easy. He goes, finally. I said, yeah. So I got to tell them, yeah, it's that good. It's that good. Because like you said, we presented it as, you have this stored value, Mrs. Smith. Would you like to use that towards your struts, or, you have the ability to get an air filter, whatever the case might be, so yes, they do have the value there present. And then you go, well, would you like to donate that to our charity of the month or the quarter or whatever? So having those
log in, so they can log in.
Oh yeah,
the account page.
Yeah.
And do it in so many different ways.
Yeah. That's what's really awesome, is that you also have the client also has the power to control where their value goes. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do.
Yeah. And
my loyalty programs either hit the mark or don't.
Right.
And, this is what we do for a living. So we research it. I just thought this would work, and it failed for years until I really did all the research and figured out why loyalty programs work and how they work. Number one, it can't be one-sided. I have some shops right now today that are running just the referral program, and it works a little bit, but consumers see right through that. Paying that's like, here, I'm giving you the only thing I'm giving you of added value is the ability to earn $25 for a referral.
Right.
But that's disproportionately benefiting the shops. It's fine, but really, it's about what does the consumer want?
Yeah.
And what they want is they want to look at a rewards program and clearly understand what's the value, what's being asked of me, because they know that it's a two-way street.
Right.
And so the rewards program has to clearly show how they derive value from it and what's being asked of them, so they can competently navigate it. And then within the rewards program, there needs to be autonomy. Another word for that is choice. How do I use the rewards program? And then there needs to be relatedness. Is there a purpose behind this? Why am I even bothering? Well, I'm doing it to get better value. But I can clearly see that this business, because it's not just automotive shops that are participating here. The consumer can see this business cares about its people, cares about its consumers, and cares about its community. Now you're hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah.
So competency, autonomy, and relatedness, which happens to stand for CAR, the acronym. It's actually the three primary components of self-determination theory.
Okay.
And I know this gets a little heady, but this is why these things work.
Right.
Self-determination theory actually is a way to achieve the best possible outcome in whatever you're doing. So let's relate it to an employee or a teammate or even yourself. As an owner, if you have a particular job to do, you look at it and you want to know that you can do it, that you can be competent at it. You understand what the job is, and you understand how to get from point A to point B and achieve and accomplish it to the point where someone would say, nice job, you got it done. But then to really get the best outcome, that employee or teammate needs to have autonomy. They don't want to be micromanaged. And everyone listening can think of, I do it to my team, they feel beaten down. They don't see, they're like, I'm getting the job done. Why do you need me to do it this way? And so they want autonomy and some choice. And they also want relatedness. Your employees, they want to know, why am I doing this? Well, I'm in service to a great organization who gives back to the community, and I'm making money to support my family. Now you've got a chance to get a high achiever, and sports teams deploy and study self-determination theory, how to get the right outcomes. And we built that into this program. And I like people to think about it this way. This is kind of our motto. If it's good for the vehicle, it's good for the consumer, it's good for the shop, and it's good for the community. So what is good for the vehicle?
No, I said it does hit on all cylinders. What I was going to try and get us to well, I want to comment on those that think that it is a discount program. I mean, there's arguments on should I or shouldn't discount. Does it take away from the value of what I'm delivering? Is it lessen me as a technician or a shop owner? And I've never felt that this is a discount program. Are we technically giving something away? Well, yeah, in a sense, but the client more or less earns their way in to that discount level, and then they have the right to say, well, where I want to place it here, I want to use it. So I don't think it's fair to call it a discount program. I really don't. I think yeah, and I think that's important.
Yeah, it's hugely important, and I'm glad you brought it up, Greg, because that's the first thing that goes through, shop owners' minds.
Sure.
We're not a discount house. I've never run my business that way, and I would never want anyone to. We, in fact, at the Mars conference at the Institute, a month or two ago,
right,
we had a little funeral up on stage when we taught our class. We had a funeral for discount. We got a little tombstone, and we read the obituary.
That's great.
It started with discount lived fast and died cheap.
Oh, well, see, I didn't see pictures of that. You should have some pictures up online. I didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
That's great.
We put some up. I don't know.
Now, coming from a marketing guy, come on now, man. Yeah.
Yeah, we should have promoted that more. But so with a rewards program, it's the opposite. If you as the shop owner, we're always saying, gosh, I want customers to maintain their vehicles and come in when they're supposed to and get everything done that I tell them, because these are the important things. So what a loyalty rewards program does in any industry is moves people through a continuum of expanding and contracting benefits based on how they behave. And this is all done automatically. If they don't come back in, they lose their dollars. If they don't come back in, roadside assistance goes away. If they don't come back in, they can't send referrals, or the number of referrals that they can send out changes. So we built the whole thing around, and I think we built it properly. I think we built it to hit all the psychological components from the checklist that consumers have to trade loyalty.
Right.
And then we built the program with its features and with these things that the consumer can do. They're having a ball with it. The customers love it. And so I want to touch on this other piece. It's been crazy to me to see shops not embrace this concept, forget about loyalty. But working with shop owners, I recognize, they're more predisposed to looking at processes and kind of teaching out on the technical side of things at the shop. And that's so important, because that's what you do. That's your core job, is to, make vehicles safe, make them last a long time, drive back cost of ownership.
Correct.
That's your job.
Yeah.
But marketing has a whole thing side of it too, that you need to really study and understand and get better.
Well, that's absolutely correct. I mean, there is the retail side of any business. And, I mean, if you're fortunate enough to be I don't take an artisan, of any degree. And if you are that person, meaning that you're a unicorn in your own trade or world, and you don't need to market, and people know you, and you're stacked up and all that, good for you, but most of us forget that a business, in order to grow, you need to retail. I don't care how you do it. You can retail your talent. You can retail your price. You can put it on the street. You can save it. I don't care what it is. You're going to have to put something into a retail situation. And that can mean hospitality. That could mean price. That can mean anything. I mean, selling gasoline was a retail day in and day out. And, we constantly had some type of promotion where it was, we gave away a glasses, or some of the fun ones, Looney Tune characters, which I still actually have. They're miniature Looney Tunes, the original Looney Tunes, and we would give them S&H green stamps back in the day. Most people didn't know what the hell that is, but S&H green stamps. You come in and you bought $5, and you may have gotten $2 worth of stamps, or whatever the case might be. That value, that's retailing.
You're exactly right. And we call it throwing a party for that first time customer.
There you go. Okay.
And so you go to shops, and shops can do this right now. Strategize 3 things that you're going to do for every new customer that comes through the door. number one, they have to be greeted. Thanks for trying us out. Like the advisor should know that's a first-time customer.
Right.
With our system, what we do, which is, this will be new for everyone out there, but we have the loyalty account pages, and you don't have this piece deployed yet either. But at the end of the visit, the first visit, the customer just types in their phone number into a tablet, which yours will be arriving next week, right?
Okay.
And they will see their loyalty account page, and they will see their free gifts that they can choose. We're doing 3 free gifts, and they can choose which one they want to local merchants. And at that exact moment that they do that, they also get your V card, so that every number that you have is stored in their phone and won't go to their staff. So
okay, all right.
If one and done is one of our bigger challenges, I mean, and I can't think of it. There's a lot of big challenges, but when the average one and done rate is 54%, just think about why wouldn't we focus on throwing a party for that first time customer when it's so simple to spend a little bit extra time, go through your unique selling points or the things that they just remind them. Here's my warranty. We have the roadside number. Whatever it is that you have, that makes you different. That first time customer needs to be dazzled, because if you can cut that one and done rate from 50%, or I have shops that are doing very, very well when they come on board with me and that have a one and done rate of 60%. That just tells me, like, that's crazy. You can just make your business like skyrocket if you can cut that one and done rate.
Oh, you certainly can, because you've invested so much in getting that first time client. I mean, gosh, some of the averages are up to $200 to $300 to get that person to come in and walk in your door, and it might be an extra $10 to keep them. I mean, you gotta put it out there. So I'm excited to hear about that. You didn't fill me in on that, man. Well, what's those again? I feel abandoned now. I feel hurt, Jeff.
I know. But this is also for the listeners to understand, from a tech, all of us that are in this business,
right.
We partner with Steer, and we partner with all the shop management systems, TekMetric. So, and we're all friends, and I've chosen to stay very firmly in the loyalty lane. I believe it's totally different than CRM. The numbers prove it. It works perfectly in conjunction with most of the CRMs out there. Steer and AutoOps have a really deep integration with us right now, which is great. But we have to think about that throwing of the party for the first time customer, and how many more have this time.
Right. You celebrate. Yeah, you celebrate. Right. That's good.
You celebrate.
Yeah, you celebrate.
Visit, you do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the data clearly shows if they come in the second time and we would say, throwing a party for that second time visit involves things like a welcome board, welcome back, and up to these customers. And these are things that you don't need loyalty to, my program to do.
Well, this is what's kind of strange. I mean, do you sleep at night? Because I mean, this type of software, to me, and this program would put me in such a rabbit hole. I don't think I'd ever get out of it by thinking,
it'll make you crazy.
I go over it just as much as probably what you do on how you can extrapolate the best value or where this can go, because once you start thinking of it as a community currency and you've digitized the process, there really isn't too many places you can't go, in my opinion. I mean,
and what we do to make it simple is we run the playbook, right? And now you've learned. You worked with us, and we walked you through how we automate this whole process.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, we wish we recorded it. I wasn't on that meeting, but you said, man, they had fun in that meeting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It absolutely. I mean, I don't think we've talked about the cross-pollinator a lot, but what that does is that puts you in a group of other businesses, the ones that you choose to shop. You as the shop owner go out and you can request, or I'd say solicit, but you're not really soliciting. You're asking to partner with a local community business. So let's say that I have a car wash and I want to ask the owner of the car wash, hey, can I help you move tickets? Can we do this? I want to offer, my client a $10 off on your car wash or whatever promotion you have, or I might go down to the baker, or I might go down to the detail center, whatever you feel that your business can work with, or that maybe your clients were like, let's go to the movie. So you go to the movie theater and you say, hey, can I, do whatever. So what Jeff allows to happen is that, on the consumer page, your client's page, all of these opportunities, or I'd say opportunities, are available to them. And that is done what? It's done free, right? For the partners. Am I correct? Yeah. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So to me, it's kind of clear. I don't want to sound like it's a bunch of work for the shops.
No, it's not.
We've built it so our system will choose the most popular businesses around you based on their ratings at Yelp and at Google. And you can choose from a list, or we can just send it for you and a letter goes out that we believe in. At Buckley's Auto, we believe in supporting local businesses. We think that a rising tide raises all the ships. And we want to put you in front of our loyal customer base and tell them about you and present them with an offer to go try you out. I've never had a business say no. And you saw from our Loyalty Marketing Made Easy document, when we make these choices for you, it goes directly into our system. Mm-hmm. The graphics are generated. The letters go out to the businesses. In your case, Greg, you're a community dude. You're out there. You don't need us sending those letters. You're choosing your businesses yourself. I have shops that so many of them are in BNI. We actually got a call from BNI themselves because of what we're doing. And so you have, for all the shops that are in BNI, those are your logical cross pollinators. And like at the holiday season, we have all these BNI groups just choosing the ones that make sense around the holidays.
Yeah.
And again, the customers it's costing the shop nothing. They see you as community minded. It's checking that item off the list. And the biggest thing, again, we talk about marketing efficiency. It's that these companies that you're partnering with are talking about you online. And all you do is, and we have the graphics all made for this, you make a post that says, please go to your Buckley's Loyalty Rewards page and log in and download your offers to these, to this local business. And, we did that. Auto Doctor did it with a pickleball place a couple months ago. That pickleball place got a bunch of customers. They were so excited about it. They put Auto Doctor up on their reader board and on the digital replay screen, because pickleball has gone high tech.
That's crazy.
And, so what happens is you don't have to ask these businesses to do anything. It's leading by example. You are now able to shop to lead the local business community without having to call a meeting, without having to form a committee or attend a Chamber of Commerce meeting, which is all reasonable stuff if you're built that way. But most people want to go home after work.
Yeah, very true.
With this program, you can do all of that without having to do the work yourself.
That's great. Well, look, we got about maybe 7 minutes to wrap this thing up. I didn't want to go past the 1 hour at a time because you're busy and so are we, and so is our audience here. But again, how can they reach out to you? Is it PitCrewRewards.com?
So they would go to PitCrewLoyalty.com.
Okay.
And then they can request a meeting there, or they can text me or call me at 206-271-0060, or email at Jeff R at PitCrewMarketing.com. And if you wanted, Greg, I guess you could put my calendar link up on one of your posts.
Yeah, I see that.
You can direct people there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, good. Folks, I'm going to, this is all recorded. And even though if you missed a little bit of it live, I'm going to run this again on SoupRadio at approximately 8 o'clock tonight. We'll have a repeat and it'll be part of the rotation until we get things moving here. And again, check out PitCrew We've been using it at the shop for over 2 years now, I believe, or something like that. And it's gotten better and better and better. Jeff is constantly, him and his team are constantly making it even easier. And this new advance that you just did is really just incredible. Like you said, we've increased to almost like 80% for redemptions and all that other good stuff. So I'm a believer in it. Again, it's not a discount program. Do not consider it one. It's more loyalty. And just like all of us, I know for a fact that what do you do when you go to a grocery store? You put your phone number in and you get loyalty points. And Jeff, I think there was something that you and I were talking about the other day, that these points, they may expire, but it's a while. I mean, I gave the example that it's up to the shop. I mean, you can make it indefinite, keep them there forever. I recently went to a grocery store and, part of their program, I put my number in and, I'm a fairly loyal customer. It's where I want to go. But then they tell you that, oh, Mr. Buckley, you've got 250 points, but here's the way you have to spend it. And I'm like, right. I don't need 5 gallons of ice cream or, 3 gallons of milk, and by the way, it expires next Saturday. I'm like, I can't use it. It's like, what did Henry Ford say? You can buy any color car you want as long as it's black. And right. And that's doing something on the owner's terms of sense. And what Jeff was trying to explain was the autonomy of everything is the client gets to spend their values the way they want to, whether they put it towards a repair, whatever that repair might be, or they can put it out to their favorite community. They can take advantage of other opportunities within the community, other small businesses as well, because you're basically creating this promotional avenue on the backside. And I can only say this, man, you really do need to get Jeff a call. And I know that I've been with him for a while. Jeff's been in the automotive aftermarket for decades. He's quite aware, and I always enjoy my discussions with Jeff because it's intelligent marketing. It's not something that's a one and done situation. It's very intelligent. It's very detailed. The information and the data that you receive off of the back end, the owner's portal is pretty impressive. And for me, and for most of you, that's the most important part is, what the values are for the owner. Is it actually working? And I can tell you that for us, it is working. So Jeff, I really want to say thanks for coming on board here. Folks, this is the first one for Soup Radio. It's an afternoon interview. Hopefully you heard it well. It went over well. Not just Jeff and I, but the transmission through the pipes, as I say, hopefully that went well. I am recording it. It'll be eventually on a podcast. We're going to repeat this at 8 p.m. tonight, and it'll be part of the rotation. Coming up at 2:00 here on Soup Radio, with just a couple of minutes here, we've got Jimmy Purdy and the podcast, the Gearbox podcast. I know that a lot of those guys are out of Vegas, but again, and then afterwards, we have Frank Lutz tonight at Wrench Nation coming on at 7:00. And in between, we've got music and maybe some comedy. But anyway, thanks for joining us here at Soup Radio. My name is Greg, and this is Jeff. Jeff, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And we're going to sign off.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. All right. Take care. All right. See you now. Bye-bye.
Bye.